I have never been in an arena quite like the one I was in Honolulu. The Hawaiian fans specifically come out to support their own like I'd never seen before. And I was watching this fight with Josh Thompson, and Josh had told me, hey, wait till the main event. Wait till Ilima-Lei McFarland walks out. You're going to have an experience like you've never had before. And he said that he had been there when BJ Penn fought Gomi a number of years ago on a promotion called Rumble on the Rock. And sure enough, when the main event, I mean, they had chants, they had signals, they had songs they sang, and they were all in unison. They just knew what to do. They knew how to be fans and support their own. And I'll tell you, when that was over, I had just enough time to catch the co-main and the main for the UFC. And when you look at Iaquinta and Kevin Lee, it was a rematch. And so many people didn't know that. Kevin Lee has been wanting this fight for the longest, I want to say about 3 years now. They had fought on an undercard, and Al got over him, and Kevin just thought, man, I can change the outcome. What we found out is both guys have progressed at very similar rates, so they got a very similar outcome. And I thought you had two really great fighters, and 155 is just murderer's row, in my opinion. As a bigger guy that's been in the heavyweight class or the light heavyweight class, we do not go that deep. We have never had to run 5 and 6 and 7 guys deep that on any given night could leave with the world championship. It is such a hard class. So in this particular fight, you've got two former number one contenders. I mean, we put two champions together. And what a marquee fight that is. Well, this is the next best thing. You have two guys that were the former number one contenders. So they got there and fight in a rematch. And it was similar to the first one. Look, Kevin Lee did a great job. He pushed the pace. He showed his athleticism. He showed his wrestling skills. He showed his grappling abilities. Al did the same thing. That's just simply what happened. And we really got to pick up on Al's durability. I followed Al's career very closely. I did not know that he was in that level of fitness. I did not know he had the ability to push that hard in the 4th and 5th rounds. I learned that the night he fought Khabib. And I think if anything might have come from his win over Kevin Lee, it was to also make sure to go back and fix the narrative post-Khabib fight. I heard some ridiculous things after that fight. I heard that Khabib's stand-up didn't look good, that Khabib's wrestling wasn't as great as everybody thought. I heard some reporters, reputable reporters with reputable outlets, saying that Khabib wanted to fight Conor, and he knew if he put it down on Al, that Conor would be at home and go, I don't want to do that fight. So he carried Al so that Conor would think, well, there's some opportunity and I can beat him. Level of ridiculousness. But what we found, but this was still the narrative. Ridiculous or not, that's just the sport that we live in, right? Perception is reality, and this was what was being talked about. Now we found out that no, Al is just a really strong opponent. Al Iaquinta can go hard 22 minutes in and 24 minutes in and with a black eye and with a busted up nose. He can still push hard. And I really think that Al served himself well to also fix and correct the Khabib talking points. Al is Khabib's hardest opponent. Al gave Khabib the closest fight that he's ever had. That's what happened. And now we're starting to see how good he is. And I really like where Al was going after this fight. I saw some media, I think it was Ariel Helwani, tried to steer him into, hey, what do you do next? It's always the question you have to ask a guy. And Al said, well, if you want to follow the sport in the rankings, you got to give me Conor next. If they want to do a big money fight, maybe that takes me out of it and it's somebody else. I don't know what Conor wants to do. If he wants to be a sportsman and a competitor like I am, then we're going to have to fight and the winner can go on from there. I like that answer because it was so true. So many guys want Conor McGregor because he is the money fight, because he is the big exposure fight, but nobody will ever talk about it. They just try to insert themselves in there. Al came out and just told the truth. Yeah, if you're looking for a big draw, maybe that isn't me right now. Maybe it is. I don't know how that'll play out. But if you're looking to follow the rankings, Conor and I are now next to each other. Okay. Well, there's something I can get behind.